You tuned into your homeboy, the Supreme Pooh Supreme, and I am accompanied by
the Enchantress Divine, Ruby Craft.
And this is the Dub Tape Podcast. What is going on, everybody? What is going on? This is your homeboy, the Supreme Pooh Imperial Supreme Pooh, accompanied by the lovely Enchantress Divine.
You didn't want
Ruby
me to cut you off last
Ruby
time.
Craft. And this is the Dub Tape Podcast. Give me a round of applause. Clap for me. And we're back with yet another, there hasn't really been a lapse in what's going on between the last episode and this is indeed episode 6. And we're talking about something that affects everybody. But of course, before we get into that, even though the day hasn't lapsed, how do you feel right now?
Feel relaxed.
Feel relaxed.
Feel relaxed.
Why?
The ick of the day is pretty much done.
Ick of the day is pretty much done. No shower. No.
Oh, you nasty.
No cleansing. Just the ick of the day is gone. But I feel
you know what? It did rain though, so that kind of like washed away, some of whatever energy was going on.
Some people say that the rain is good for doing that.
It's like a reset button.
But you weren't in the rain.
It wasn't a rain. I mean, I had an umbrella, but that's not the point.
No, it is the point.
I'm like sugar, I'll melt.
And turn into liquid diabetes. But nonetheless, we're here, we're back, and we're going to talk about a subject that affects us all, at least us in this age range, and that, my friend, is sex. I don't have a better sound effect. Maybe I do. I don't know. I don't know.
You gotta get a bound check a wow.
Yeah, that'll work. That would definitely work. But yeah, we are here. We're live, and I don't know. Should I start it off, or should you start it off?
You should start it off.
I should start it off?
Yes.
Are you sure? Because
I am sure. Go ahead.
This is unfiltered.
Do your thing.
Organic. All the things. Right? So the topic that we decided to talk about today is definitely sex. And I don't know. I mean, everything's kind of revolved around millennials and how we deal with specific topics. And so far we've covered like parenting and adulting and I forgot the other ones. We kind of just roll into them and just have a good flow with everything.
Workplace toxicity,
which seems to be really, really popular. And like, again, let me just double back and remind everybody that if you have a story to tell, or if you have a comment on that topic or any of the topics that we talk about, let's not forget dubtapepodcast@gmail.com. See us on our social media, Dubtape Podcast. Hit all of those up and leave your comments, leave your likes, follow, all of that good stuff. I intend on reading everything that comes through there, but nonetheless, let's talk about sex. How important is sex to you in a relationship?
Very.
Okay. I'm gonna give an applaud because she is not one of the prude, one of the many, who puts like this super duper hierarchy over sex. Is pretty much an everyday thing as we talk about the subject of it. And again, very admirable that you don't look down upon it or look at it as some kind of taboo-ish.
Absolutely not.
kind of thing. We're adults, and sex is important to all adults. All adults. By this time, we all watch porn. We all fantasize. Everything is topical. And once we get past the topical parts of physical attraction, am I wrong to say everything else is secondary?
Yes and no. Because
yes and no.
So here's the thing. Yes, sex is important. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, to me, you have to be careful. Well, to many people, you have to be careful of who you have sex with. And the careful comes, you want to be careful because of diseases.
Of course.
People who are more spiritualist or more conscious of energy and stuff, you want to be careful of who you exchange those energies with, because vibes can easily transfer. Like, for example, if somebody walks down the street and they smile at you, that turns into a smile for you, right?
No.
No? No, smiles aren't contagious?
No.
But the point is the vibe. Vibes are contagious. Somebody can come in with a fucked up vibe and then it fucks up your vibe.
I doubt that. I agree with you.
Okay. So
yes.
that's what I'm trying to say.
Gotcha.
So the same thing with sex. It's an exchange of energy. So you have to be careful who you're exchanging that energy with. So that's the careful part. You want to be careful because of diseases, and you want to be careful of who you exchange your energy with.
So, sex before or after a relationship?
What do you mean before or after? Before or once you're in, before a relationship or once you're in a relationship?
So, traditionally, a lot of people would like to hold off on sex during a relationship. Well, or in pursuit of a relationship, I should say.
Who?
I mean, to the untrained eye, I'm glad you're saying it like this, because order of operations. Oh, okay. So I've asked that question.
Yeah.
Right. So order of operations, traditionally, what do you see as a relationship is pursuit? Because this kind of goes into the last thing that we was talking about.
Right.
So order of operation.
So ideal, tradition, old school, however you're raised, you like somebody, you get to know them, they court you or you court them, whatever the case being, you go out on a couple of dates, and religion wise, which will dictate no sex before marriage, so you court, you get married, then you have sex. Some people are like, you court, you wait however many dates, 30 days, 90 days, whatever right. The hell it is.
Right.
And they're like, all right, you want to be my boyfriend? Yes. All right. Now we could go have sex because now you're committed to me. But I mean, it varies from, it just varies. So like me, I'm a fucking rebel. I'm a rebel. I was raised,
okay.
I was raised like, you can't date unless you're ready to get married. Like that was my parents' thing.
Okay. I went completely left field.
No, wait, no. You can't date until you get married. That's how I was raised. No boyfriends, nothing. So I did that totally ass backwards, by the way. Okay. Which is why I am where I am right now. Are
you comfortable where you are right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm good. It didn't destroy my world or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Some things could be better, but at the same time, I'm like, I regret nothing.
This just, I mean.
Why are you laughing?
Because it's.
Don't laugh at me. I'm sensitive.
You said you're a rebel. And it's like,
I am.
Rebel vagina just sounds so dangerous. But no, I dig it.
Not like that.
I dig it. No. I dig it because, these are topics that, a lot of people would probably buckle under the pressure. I would love to have somebody on here or hear somebody's standpoint living in the world today, around our age, that has put a ceiling on that topic. You see what I'm saying? Because how do I say this? People, I remember getting married, right? And my line of courtship is a lot more in tune with what's going on today than tradition. You see what I'm saying? So I remember going and asking people on the journey to marriage, and it's just like, hey man, like, so you're married to your wife, and how'd that work out? And are you happy and all that? And all you get is, yes, I'm very happy.
Yeah, but blink twice if you need help.
Correct. And that's how it seemed. It was like, yo, nah, seriously, how is it? Are you happy? This, that, and third. And this is like, eyes get real wide. Yes, I'm very happy.
Right.
Did she send you?
Right.
Like,
Right. She's behind me, isn't she?
Right.
No, man. And see, that's...
I like Cheerios too. And it's like... No, let's cut through the old crap cake here, man. It's like
total bullshit. Because had I really went that route, like the whole no sex before marriage thing is a crock of shit. Because
you're missing out.
Because the thing is, if you don't have sex beforehand, then you're not able to nip certain issues in the bud or figure out what you like and what you don't like, or whatever the case be.
Issues like what? I want to know.
Issues like so many things. There's so many things. Like,
give me your top three.
Top three. Maybe the sex drive isn't compatible. Maybe one has a higher sex drive than the other. Okay. Maybe you expected your partner to be a certain size and they're not, or whatever the case is. Or maybe you expected, or maybe you have a kink. Maybe you have a kink and your partner doesn't. Maybe you like to do butt stuff and your partner's like, exit only. Fuck that shit. You know what I mean?
Yes. I'm sorry. Yes, okay.
Or, maybe your partner. So men are very visual, and a lot of people learn sex from porn versus learning love making, because the woman's fantasy is love making. Like, you got to do all the romantic shit. You got to take her on a date and hold her hand and sweep her off her feet. And then, you got to kiss her from her head down to her feet and have roses on the bed and do a nice body massage and take a bath together. And
that's what somebody told you, or what you imagined?
When I was younger, yeah, that's what you imagine. You imagine the shit that you hear in love songs and the stuff that you read in books and everything. Like, you let your imagination run wild as to what turns you on. Versus, men or boys, they, their parents like, birds, bees. You stick your dick in here, and here's some porn. You go figure it out.
Yo, I've never had the birds and bees talk. It was just, I had two older brothers,
and they gave you porn, and that was it.
No. They never even gave me porn. I stumbled upon it.
You stumbled upon it.
As a matter of fact, it's so funny because all three of us, as a matter of fact, we were, we grew up traditionally like a lot of Black New Jersey families, right? So everybody's kind of in this one house, and Big Mama's house, whatever the case is, everybody wasn't quite family,
right?
But somebody needed a spot to stay while they worked or whatever the case was until they got their shit together,
right?
And we had one of those, and this guy liked porn. And, no pervert story, like no R. Kelly shit, no nonsense. But he had a stash.
Right.
And we're talking like late 80s, early 90s.
Right.
So it's like, VHS. And my oldest brother would go into the stash and be like, yo, look what he got.
Right.
because we're kids. So
Right.
pops it in, mad, uninteresting, pale cakes being flapped around on screen. And it's just like, oh my
Pale
God,
cakes.
is that it? And then as me, right. So like me as a kid, I'm just like, is this what they do? Like, I don't understand. You know?
Right.
So you put this thing inside of this thing. She goes crazy. You start sweating. And, you know, oddly enough, until I got older, it was like, that's just going on. You know, just imagine you learning something and somebody cuts it off. And that's all you get. So it's just like you just keep doing this one thing.
Oh, man.
Until, like, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, that sounds terrible.
We were kids, and I understand now. It's like
That's terrible.
somebody was coming upstairs. Oh shit!
Turn it off. Put it back.
Turn it off. Pop it out. Put it back. Cut on, you know, DuckTales or some shit. Whatever was going on, Channel 11 at the time,
Never,
right?
ever.
So it's like for the longest time, that was me. It was just like and it, you know, us nasty ass kids coming up in grade school. It was just like, hey, you ever had sex before? You ever see a girl naked? And it's like, yes. And you would lie. And for the record, you know, lying on your penis was never cool, right?
What?
But I don't think it mattered. Right? Like after a certain time, I don't think it mattered because it was like, you know, you're lying on your penis and you look back at it and it's like, did it really affect your life going forward? No, it didn't.
Just made you a liar.
You know, if you ever found out, I didn't care enough to know who was boinking who. But when I really, really think about it, I'm like, yo, we were like in the third grade. There's absolutely no way.
Right.
There was no leeway into you
Okay,
painting this story.
third grade, we were like, me and my friends, we were just talking about kissing. So we were like, oh, did you ever kiss a boy? You know, and I'm like, well, I give my dad a kiss, like on the cheek. And they're like, no, have you really kissed a boy? And I'm like, no, like, you know, it was always like,
Dork. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
the disrespect for real. Yes, I was a dork. I was a dork.
Cool. I feel you.
So, like, okay, so, yo, fuck you. But, like, I grew up in a strict household, so there was no porn around. The closest I got was trying to make out the lines on the Spice Channel and the Spice Channel because at one point it was the Spice Channel, and then I guess like by day it switched to something else or whatever, some shit like that.
No, it was always
it was always Spice Channel.
Yeah, it was always the Spice Channel. Yeah, so it's like,
but it's like certain times. But like certain times, like it was like a teeny bit clearer than any other time.
It was that preview time where
right, like when you waking up. So I would like go downstairs to like iron my uniform, and I would put it on because nobody else was up. Or
I'm mad you looked like
because I was in the basement. I'm looking up like
you're in the studio.
Oh shit!
We are in a zero gravity room. She looked up like her mom was coming downstairs.
Bruh.
And she heard the footsteps. Like, oh shit! Cut that goddamn TV off.
And I would have it on like super low so nobody knows the TV was on.
I mean, let's be honest here. Do you just who here? Show of hands. How many people watch porn with the sound on?
Nobody, because that shit is annoying. What the fuck? Correct.
Like, you know, and it's because I've always had kids in the house, so it's like, you know, very seldom do I watch, and then that should be super annoying too. Like,
right? Like, who wants to?
know.
And I'm like, oh, bitch, shut up! Like, just.
Nah, I mean, but a lot of people, like you said, a lot of people learned how to fuck through porn,
right?
And a lot of people got their cool from porn too. I don't know names. I don't know names.
Not I said the Ruby. So
listen, this is. I mean, in my mind.
So with that being said,
in my mind, you know. Like,
so with that being said, how old were you when you lost your virginity?
About 13, 14.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was weird. No, it wasn't weird because it's not like anything.
That is wild to me. But I'm technically a late bloomer then.
Yeah. Yeah. But that was also the point that separated the bullshit from the lies.
Okay.
You know, so it was like, so don't get me twisted. I also graduated when I was 17 years old.
Okay, so did I.
Right. So a lot of people that was talking a lot of shit. Now, I knew people that was having sex very, very early, and it was always kind of like, well, wow, where the fuck were the parents at? I'm more so like, how'd you set it up?
Right,
like, how'd you set it up?
Because look, I damn sure tried at 14, and that shit didn't pan out.
I mean,
so 4 years later.
Listen, granted, it's more so like you go out. My experience is wasn't weird. Like, again, it wasn't weird, but it was because it was a meetup with a bunch of people, and it was even, right? It was about 3 or 4 of us, 3 or 4 of them, and the stars aligned. Everything was just perfect for the kill.
Okay.
You know, so parents weren't home. It's summertime. I like to call them the sexcapades.
Sexcapades, Jesus.
And it was one of those things where it's kind of like you're on you're at the playground and you're playing ball, and it's like, all right, I got him. I got him.
Right.
Then it comes down to like the last 3.
Right.
And it's kind of like, all right, I got him. Then it's like, oh, it's down to me and this fucking guy. If they pick me over him, I'm good. But if they pick him over me,
I'm mad as hell.
my confidence is going to suffer for years to come.
Right.
And that's what happened to me.
Oh, you were last pick?
It was like, you could hear, it's like I could hear you, like.
You're not whispering.
Well, I don't want to.
I'm right here.
I don't want to. And it's like, yo, we all here, this, that, and the third. And it's like, I can only imagine what that kind of thing is now, with the state of the union, for lack of a better term.
Okay.
And it was just like, I mean, you're horny as a kid, and it's like, well, we talked this up all week, and they're here,
right?
And they don't look half bad,
right?
And I've never done this before, so all of us were like,
got to see it through.
Got to see it through, and I'm pretty sure we were all pitching tents, knocking over all types of glassware, and it was just like, to hear that, it was just like, oh my God, like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, and then I get into my, automatic, hey, well, bitch, what I'm saying? Shit. You don't look good, like, all this craziness, and it was just like, I feel like that helped, but it helped, but it didn't help. It probably didn't, but
shame on you.
That was literally one of my first experiences. I couldn't even tell. But the funny part about it is that happened, and I couldn't tell you what the second experience was.
Well, yeah, I mean, you always remember your first, though.
I don't even consider that my first because it was so odd and weird. I'll tell you, because fuck it, this is why we're here. So we're lined up. It's the 1998 Sexcapades, and everything's matched. You see what I'm saying? And my homeboy, he's like, yo, she's ready. All right, bet. So we go into this bathroom, and she's looking at me. I'm looking at her. She's Donald Ducking it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm like fully dressed, and it's that awkward. You're sitting there for like 10 minutes.
Yep.
Like, yeah. So what do we do? And it's like she's kind of giving instructions, but she's not. And I'm kind of like, well, the guy who wears the Timbs that I watch in the movies.
Oh God.
I didn't shave I don't have a baldy, I kind of got the body, but I don't have the baldy. But he would literally just like grab him and, just start pounding away. But I'm like, I didn't see that working.
Right.
I'm pretty, and that's the thing too. It's like, it's a lot of shit you might see in these movies, but you got to remember it's still a movie.
Right.
Like
right.
A lot of cut scenes, So we finally get to it. I get undressed. She's halfway undressed. And she's just like, I'm just going to sit on it, okay? And I'm like,
Okay.
Okay. Now, mind you, I'm pitching a tent here. There's no problem. I'm pitching a tent, and it's like, yeah, whatever. Come on, just do it. Like, Beavis, do it. And it's like, all right. And again, no protection. It's just straight up like, if you're going to do it, do it. You know what I'm saying? And that probably kind of ruined me going forward. But boom. He sits down, and it's like, it's a movie, right? So she sits down, and it's like, oh, this is it's so warm.
This is nice.
Like, it's warm, and it's like, so what happens now? It's like, so now in my mind, I'm like, you're not doing what they do in the movies, so you kind of start gesturing that and everything, and she's just like, no, what if you make a mistake and this, that, and the third. It was so much talking.
Jeez.
And I was just like, this isn't fun. I was like, look, just whatever. You know what I'm saying? All this, now mind you, in your later years, that would be, you would definitely
lose. Yeah, lose momentum.
You definitely lose momentum.
Okay.
But you're young, so it's like, and you're excited to even just be fucking, right? So it's like, okay, it's still up, and it's just like, yo, just do something. Like, I never finished. I never finished the course. I never finished the course. So show me what happens. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, finally getting into it, and then as it starts to get good, again, there's a group of us.
Right.
And my buddy comes in, boom, just swinging.
Oh, shit.
And I'm like, she jumps up, and it was like, oh my God, you're so lucky I wasn't ready to fucking jizz, because it was getting, it was getting good, right?
Right.
So he's like, yo, my bad, bro, can I get some paper hand towels and shit? I'm like, my guy.
Nigga.
Like, for real. And it's like, after that, we all went and got ice cream. Like, we all had money, and we just went to go get some ice cream. And then we put them back on the bus, and they went on their separate way. So that was the story. That was the story.
That's an awful story.
It is.
So
it is
anticlimactic.
But it's the truth.
Okay.
It's the truth. That's what happened. And yeah.
That's wild.
But we could go, again, this is the transition from 8th grade into 9th grade.
Right.
And we couldn't say we ain't never, you know what I'm saying?
It wouldn't be a lie no more.
That separated us from everybody else, and it was just like, that's how I went in. Yeah, of course it was embellished.
Just a little bit.
Oh, man, I bent her over the sink, and I was clapping, and shit just going like this.
Jeez, that's
la, 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 la. Like, because, hey, so it wasn't necessarily lying on your shit, but it was like, well, it was in. It was in, and I got a chance. I could tell you what it feels like.
Right.
As far as the actual story,
right.
Like, I might be stretching the truth just a little bit, but that's how it went down. And it was so funny because those stupid ass songs that were out around the time, and there's one in particular, Heads High, Killing with the No.
I love that song.
Who made that song? Doesn't matter. Yeah. Fuck them. Because, and again, we're talking about a bunch of inner city kids who are trying to score for the first time. So you look at the movies, that's your first inspiration, and we're just trying to do everything. We're trying to do everything, and it's like, okay, we have to get head. Nori was huge, right? Nori. Head, this, all, head with getting head in the whip without crashing it, and all of that jazz. Right, it was just like, you have to get head. You give head as a female.
Yeah, but well, back then it was like, it was a bad thing though, because it was, because they was
girls, yes,
right. That's what I'm saying. For girls, it was a bad thing because they was like, oh, you a chicken head, you a chicken head.
Nah. See, in the secret society of boys, right? If you could say all of that shit out loud, but behind closed doors, it was like, nah, that's what you wanted.
Right.
Great. You might not have wanted to be seen with her or something like that.
That is terrible.
Yeah, it is. But that was the reality at the time. It was like, and look how times change.
It has changed.
You live long enough to see the good guy become the bad guy.
Right.
So and vice versa. So
exactly.
It's like,
because we went from it being taboo to give head to now
this is mandatory.
People licking asses.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Like,
who started that? She was like, "And you gotta eat the booty like groceries."
Wasn't it not? Oh,
that wasn't
man.
Cassie, was it?
No, I forgot her name. She's not even around.
Tinashe.
No.
No.
I forgot her name.
All right.
But she looked good. She looked clean too. So, because you can't eat everybody's groceries.
No, you cannot. You cannot because people don't even spread their cheeks to wash their ass. So
yeah,
that's fucking gross.
I can't imagine. Which is definitely some territory that I have yet to conquer, if you will. And by now, I'm probably not. But you never know.
Look, nothing about that is appeasing to me. So I'm just like,
yes. But nah, for real, it's like it's so much stuff that has changed over the years, and unfortunately, a lot of that stuff that you've seen or encountered as a kid kind of flows over into your adulthood, right?
It does,
because it's still a lot of stuff that you want to see, that you want to do. But my question is now, does that actually affect? Because especially if you're dealing with somebody in the same age range, does that affect the relationship? Because I think we tried to flow into sex and relationships.
Okay.
And which comes first?
It depends. It depends on the person. It really varies from person to person. Some people prefer to have sex to know what they're dealing with, or to even find out if that's what they want to deal with at all. Because look, I'm gonna tell you right now, if the sex is whack, I don't want a relationship with you. Yeah, we, like we might go out on a couple of dates, we might vibe, and then after a couple of dates, all right, let's try out the goods. If you suck,
okay,
bruh, I have gotten up mid stroke and straight up looked at dude and was like, so what you about to do? Mid stroke, because I'm like. This is whack.
So you're not about the guys to see it through. You're not.
I saw it through long enough to know that this shit was whack.
Jesus.
Get the fuck out. Your Uber's on the way.
You didn't have Ubers back then?
No. But I'm just saying, and the thing is, like I said, I was raised no sex before marriage, all of that shit, and I am so glad like I went against it, because I would have dealt with some dead dick like for the rest of my life. Like my ex.
Whoa. We ain't gonna put nobody on Front Street.
No. Well, first of all, I didn't say which ex.
Nah, I ain't.
Okay.
I as a man, I can't let you do that.
No, I'm not gonna.
I can't let you do that.
All right, so it wasn't.
Whoa.
All right, it wasn't
Whoa.
dead. It got to the point where, okay, so I had one ex that wouldn't, that barely touched me. Okay.
Well, okay, that's different.
And it got to the point where I was like, hey, yo, like, I'm here, and he gave me
Committed to the mission.
Right. He was like, oh, I got a headache. Oh, I don't feel like it. I got to the point, I can count how many times in what, the 2.5 years we were together, how many times I had sex with this ex on one hand. On one hand. And I got to the point, I straight up asked him, I was like, hey, yo, do you like poles or holes? And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, bruh, like, you have a stack of muscle magazines and you won't touch me.
Well, now. Oh, shit. Oh, man.
So
yeah, that's weird.
I'm like, hey, yo, I gotta be out. I gotta go find somebody else, because, and then for the longest time, because that was like shortly after I had my kid, and I was just like, postpartum, I already felt ugly because I just had a baby, you know, and now you won't touch me.
That's
so
a real thing too.
So now I feel even uglier, and I'm like, all right, so now I'm used goods. Don't nobody want me because I had a baby and all this shit. My man won't touch me, you know. So yeah, I wilded out, and people were like, "Oh, Chris, you know, you bugging." They're like you bugging, like you know, you a baddie, yo. Like, you know, what kind of crazy motherfucker don't want to have sex all the time?
I mean, and that kind of just puts you into a position to like really think about your partner and like some of the, because I mean I've had situations where it's just my pivot is quick, so it's just like at first I used to try to stick around and well, you know, maybe she's just going through some things and I'll be there to support her and all. I like that twice, you know, fool me once, shame on me. No, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Right.
You know, so that third bitch, she probably felt full Monty. Like, nah, I don't give a fuck about none of this shit. I don't give a fuck what you going through. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just been such a bad, and on top of whatever experience that was that I had personally, I'm watching other people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Kind of like moving between the raindrops, and it's just like, fuck all that. You know, I'm sick of being on the receiving end of shit like that.
Right.
In a sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's actually no proof that these women were lying, but it's about how you feel. And I'm all about trusting your gut instinct.
Right.
You know, and if you can't give me solid confirmation, I'm going to have to run with how I feel.
Right. Right.
You know, because a lot of the times you can feel it coming and people ignore it, and then they end up with their feelings. I put a post up today. Right? Go ahead.
What, the post when somebody was bragging and then somebody pull out the old video or whatever?
It's like when you start bragging about your girl and then all of a sudden, hey come jokers with a video of your girl sucking mad wing. Not a photo, but a video. That's twice as rough.
First of all, this is exactly why I don't do photos or video.
I mean,
I don't want to give anybody the opportunity for any type of revenge. No face, no case.
I mean,
you can't prove it.
You girls like tattoos and shit, so it's kind of like, yeah, you've been spotted. But it's also,
I do my very best to avoid that shit because I'm like, nope.
I mean, but that's again taboo, kink. You know, now that's a part of the kink. Are you going to turn it down? Because,
well, it's not my kink, so it's not my problem.
Right, but if somebody wants you to partake and you're like, that's not my thing, and it's like, you know, that kind of raises an issue because it's not like they're going to actually.
But I'm not in a relationship with them, so it doesn't matter.
Well, what if you are? Then again, if you're in a relationship.
No, so if I'm in a relationship, that's a communication thing that needs to happen before we even. Like, once we say, okay, we want to be in a relationship, like, that's something that has to be discussed. Like, what are your kinks? You know, I like to do videos. I like to be choked. Like, you know, you have to communicate that shit. And if that's not your thing, I'm like, nah, I don't do videos. Then you got to be like, all right, this isn't going to work for me. That's it. Because if you want your girl to do videos and that's a non-negotiable for you, like you want a girl that likes the voyeurism and likes all of that, then you should not date her. If she doesn't,
I agree with that. I agree with that. Then. That's how you get your feelings hurt.
Right. It's exactly how you get your feelings hurt because I'm like, I'm not doing this shit.
I'm trying to figure out how.
I am the queen of no face, no case. Okay. Like, I
mean, I'm more so like, you know, I'm trying to figure out how, what's her name? Mariah Hills or something like that. She's a porn. I don't know many names either, but she's been dealing with old boy from the Pelicans. And I think they're getting ready to have a kid together. Okay. And she's a porn star.
Okay.
But
that's how she get her money. So
it's how she gets her money, but it's also like, man, we're talking about sex, right?
Right.
So it's also, how do you feel about this? Okay, we got about 5 minutes, right? If your partner has more bodies than you, how do you feel about that?
That's none of my business.
But he made it your business. He or she made it your business.
Why?
How do you feel about it?
Why did they make it my business? It's not something I'm going to ask.
It's not something you're going to ask, but it might just come up inadvertently.
Oh, well. Oh, well.
Interesting. Okay. So if that conversation comes up with somebody and it's just like,
First of all, anybody asking for your body count is a red flag. Period.
Well, why?
Why? Because that's the past. That's none of your business. Now
how far are we dating the past? Because your past is a couple of weeks ago. It's not the past. I'm sorry.
No, what I'm saying is it's none of anybody's business. Now, if you contracted a disease along the way, yes, that needs to be disclosed. But body count? No, absolutely not. Because
body counts are important, but they aren't important. Like, again, it goes back to what I just said with the post that I put up earlier. It's like, you decide to wife this girl up and, some shit pops up where she's like, oh, well, she's giving head in slow motion with somebody hitting it from the back and all that. And it's kind of, I don't give a fuck what nobody says. If that's your girl, I don't give a fuck if it's 20 years from now, whatever the case is. If you actually see it, saying it is one thing, but if you actually see it, that does something to somebody. Bottom line.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's something that.
But that's different.
But it's the thing. It's the thing. Like, I don't think there's nobody out here right now that would be okay with seeing footage of their current girlfriend, fiance, wife, whatever the case is, any one of those categories, being railed by anybody.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's
unless you're cool with that kind of shit. Like, and I don't know about the percentage of people that are actually cool with that kind of stuff.
I mean, there are people that have the voyeur kink.
Correct. No. What I'm saying is, I don't know if there's, like, as far as, like, popularity vote, hey, my girl's into this, check this out. That's your girl? Yeah. That's not you. Yeah. Ain't it cool? Like,
there are people out there like that.
Well, you got your swinger. I remember watching, I don't know what the name of the show was, but it came on the Playboy Network. That's when I was killing the game,
Jeez.
And I felt so bad for this guy because he had no fucking clue, right? So the show was like road rules or something like that. So if you first cut it on, it's like they're hang gliding, they're going out to eat. There's like this little green room and they're saying all of this shit and they're just talking. But if you pay close attention, it's like, and it's couples, it's like, let's say about 6-7 couples.
Okay. So Playboy had its own version of road rules?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And it was like,
I'm sheltered.
No, well, I mean, I don't know. So I remember watching this one. And I don't know why I was gravitated to this shit, but it was like this dude was in there and he's doing all of this shit with everybody else. And it's like, in my mind, I'm like, there's absolutely no way he knows what the fuck is going on because he is so green in a sense. Mm-hmm. Because it's like they're doing stuff with his girl out in the streets. Because again, they'll be doing regular shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they're going out to eat. They're doing activities.
But he's doing the same thing, right? With other people's girls? No?
He was being regular. He was being regular. Like, and it was like a Spanish cat, like a poppy cat. And his girl, but it was his girl's idea to do this, right? And I guess she kind of talked him into doing it. So,
yeah, that's hurtful.
Exactly.
That's
so
hurtful.
At the end of it, it was like, well, no, not that it's the end, but it's always a point. And we're talking about the Playboy Network,
right?
They go to this room in the mansion, and it's like a theater room, and they got like beds and lights is out. There's a bunch of couples and everything like that. And the guy is like, you know, kind of just sitting there. Now, mind you, if you're watching the show, you clearly see it was some chicks that was digging him. Mm-hmm. And they're talking to their spouse like, yeah, I like him. Like, oh, yeah, that's all right. And it's going down like that. And then when it comes to them two, she's kind of shy because she has a look on her face like, he doesn't know what I'm about to do. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And he's like being like, you know, cue up the fucking music. He's like, hey, well, you know, we're getting ready to get married soon and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. All of that shit. Like, he was like he was completely oblivious to what the fuck was going to go down in that room.
Wow.
You know? So he gets in the room and everybody's fucking, I mean, they get in there, they start climbing on each other, the fucking lights are red, and he's kind of just sitting there looking around like, what the fuck? Then he looks over and sees his girl.
Oh, yeah.
And
he probably lost his shit.
He ain't lose it right then and there, but it was like the girl was sitting there, and, you know, she's getting railed from the back, and she's sucking somebody off, and nobody else is doing that but her. So he's like,
wow,
you know, like kind of looking like, what the fuck? But it's another girl like on him.
Right.
And he's like, nah.
Right.
And she's like, what the fuck? And I guess she kind of like just pretty much felt his energy because she's like, oh shit, he doesn't know.
Right. He doesn't know
we're a bunch of swingers. You know what I'm saying? And it just fucked up the entire vibe. He ended up leaving the room. Then he comes, yeah, he's like knocking on the door.
Right.
Like, yo, can you please get such and such? I need to talk to her. And this is the killer part. She like sticks her head out the window like, yeah, what's up? What's going on? Like,
and she's still getting around.
And he's like, yo, we gotta go. Like, can we just come upstairs and talk? Because we got to get out of here. She's like, yeah, I'll be up there in a few minutes. Just wait for me and shit. Closes the door. This motherfucker goes upstairs and shit. He's just sitting there, and I was like, yo, that sucks so badly.
It does.
Like, that just sucks.
Especially
so
when you're not in on it. Like,
you don't know. It's like everybody else knows. It's like Scotty doesn't know. You know, like Scotty doesn't know, and it's just like, bruh, you could have. And it fucked shit up. Like, he was upset.
Right.
You know, he was like really upset, and I was like, yo, but put yourself in this position. Would you be upset? I would. If I didn't know.
Right, if you didn't know.
But I'd also kind of like pick up to me personally. Yeah, wait a minute.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's a lot of people that do that in real life.
Right. Well, swingers, they have their own codes. So, you know, you got the upside down pineapple, and now they have like different color loofahs that they hang from the antennas to show people what they into and all different types of stuff.
No, I don't.
What do you mean? No, you don't.
I wish I was down with some of these secret societies, honestly. Like, just at least just to know. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, look, I only know. I'm not a part of it or anything. But, I mean, you literally hear about it. So, yes. So, one thing is if you see an upside-down pineapple, that is indicative of a swinger lifestyle.
But pineapples mean, like...
No, an upside-down pineapple.
What the fuck does that even mean, though? Like, what does that symbolize?
It's I don't know. It's a code. It's a code that says, hey, we're swingers. Come join us. That's what it says. Okay. And then you buy like the different color loofahs and you put it on like your car, like with the antenna or whatever. And it's different ones mean different things. I think like yellow, like one is like, oh, we're just beginners. So like, we just want to watch, or, you know, another color is like, okay, we're experienced, or, you know, only the wife ventures out, or whatever the case is. And actually what I recently found out is, there's a building not far from where I live. Like, you got to pass it, and it says like some type of, it just says club, and then it says
club.
Not club, but not so much club. What is it called? I don't remember what it's called. But anyway, all you see is the numbers, and it says like club members only or whatever. And come to find out, it is an actual swingers club. It looks like one of those halls that you rent out for like a quinceanera or something. So, but that's what it looks like. But really, like, it's almost always vacant.
Wow. I think you could use a better example than that. Like,
But anyway, apparently I found out that it is an actual swingers club. Like, and it's just a bunch of people that randomly meet. I never know what day it is, what day they meet there, because the parking lot is always empty. It looks like an abandoned building. But it's not abandoned because they like gave it a facelift. They redid the parking lot.
Somebody pays rent on that motherfucker.
Oh yeah, they definitely do. And I'm just like, shit.
Well, just to give like a little insight, if you ever want to kind of like see what that lifestyle is truly about, might be a little bit. No. I'm just saying, it might be a little extreme movie wise. Eyes Wide Shut.
Okay.
Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman, Stanley Kubrick joint. Yeah, I'm big on movies.
Isn't that how they hooked up?
Maybe, I don't know.
Tom and Nicole?
Maybe, because that movie, listen, the shit we talking about, and then you go to and you look that movie up. She gets the notebook, looking for the pen. Okay. But yeah, it was like, that's pretty much what it was, because it was like these, basic, and it exists. It exists.
It does.
They exist. Password parties.
Yeah.
You get the password. It's like
They do it like a speakeasy.
Kinda, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. And it's real. Like, you'd be surprised how many of those things actually exist. But there's also a lot of rules too.
Oh yeah.
So some are really, really open, and it's as simple as a Google search. Mm-hmm. And some are like, yeah, you can find us on Google, but there's a criteria.
Right. You gotta jump through all these hoops.
It's not a lot of hoops. You just gotta look a certain way. I've seen that. I've seen that.
Okay.
And there's some where it's just like, you can see it's like really, really timid. Like, these are guys who like live in their like, mom's basements, and they're like, I'm going to this shit, fuck it. You gotta wear red and black or whatever the color scheme is.
Right.
And they go, and it's like, they're just sitting there fully dressed, and like, you might see somebody across the room fully dressed, and they'll never interact. You know what I'm saying? Because they're like afraid to do that.
Right.
So with that being said, it's like, wow, this kind of thing exists. So just imagine the people that's like 10 toes down, like, fuck it, I'm in there.
Right.
We're doing this. You, and you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy, but that is the world we live in today.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing, I believe, is becoming more and more on the surface than it is taboo.
Well, yeah, and because we're tired of being repressed as a society for the most part.
Repressed. I feel like things like that should probably still be a little taboo, only because it adds to the excitement of the whole situation.
Yeah, I guess because you know what?
It's like going to the movies. Yeah, you could crack a fucking Fire Stick and watch whatever movie you want at home.
Right.
But the actual act of going out and experiencing the experience that is going out to the movies is two different things.
Right. I actually came across something. They was like, okay, what kind of sex is the best sex? Is it makeup sex? Is it this type of sex? Or is it the we not supposed to be doing this type sex?
I've seen that.
And everyone, hands down, is we not supposed to be doing this type sex. Because it is the excitement. It's the thrill of it. So,
it's the thrill of the hunt, but when the hunt is whack,
it is what it is.
Like I said, I only ask for honesty. Like, by now you're an adult. Like, we're adults,
right?
And it's like, look. Somebody asked me the other day, like, oh, you're just a hornball. You're just this, you're just that. I'm like, no, I enjoy sex just as much as the next person enjoys sex.
Right.
It's just, I don't play those games anymore. Like, you waste a lot of time.
Yep.
Trying, and then you're only lying to yourself, right? Like, hey, I see somebody, I really want to hit him off. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let me rephrase that, because that sounded weird coming out of my mouth. You want to smash,
right,
her, whatever the case is, and she's expecting all of this stuff. But it's like, yo, do you not like sex just as much as I like sex? Why are you making me jump through all of these hoops? And I'm the type of guy where I'm like, look, I'm not the ugliest person in the world, and I'm not the prettiest person in the world, but you're not going to give this guy a chance and not me. I will put you on blast. But I'm separated from that person. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm separated from that kind of person for a couple of years because it's kind of, you grow up. You grow up. But that energy is still there. It's like, look, nah. You're not going to give this guy a chance and not give me a chance. I will gun you down.
That is like, terrible. I don't know.
But I only do it if they act super duper funny.
But you know what?
Or if it comes back to me like, would you believe he tried to have sex with me?
But like, you know what? Yes. You gotta...
What the fuck?
you gotta have a little bit of chase. Just a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit. A little bit of chase.
And when I pursue the chase, like, know that I'm pursuing the chase.
Well, you're a different breed from Mo.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that... I'm not a liar, if that's what you're like. Where's the chase? And how do I cut to it, okay?
Yes, we went over this.
Like, I don't know what that means.
I think you just need someone to walk up to you and be like, are we going to smash or not?
That would be nice. That would be fucking great.
Just some random big booty chick say, hey, yo.
I would like that. Like,
you look like a tree I could climb.
Why do I always have to be the hunter? I would like to be the hunted sometimes.
Sometimes,
like, you know what I'm saying?
You have feelings too.
Yes. Sometimes, like, and fellas, hit it up. Like, dude, let's talk about it, man. Like, sometimes you want to be hunted. You don't want to be the hunter all the time. Like that, that weaponry gets heavy. You know what I'm saying? You want to put it down and just, relax. But sometimes you want to run. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you want to be like, all right, bet. But slowly but surely, I think that's where the world is going, because the polarity of said situations has definitely changed over the years.
Absolutely. Between
men and women. So, I mean, I'm just saying. Bitch, send me some flowers.
Send you some flowers?
Send me some flowers. Buy me a PlayStation 5, huh? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Give me something. Like, because think about it. You got, like, from a man's perspective, a regular Joe, You're a regular Joe. I'm a regular Joe.
Okay.
I'm a regular Joe. I'm as regular as they come, And you go through all the hoops and you make it to the date, right? Because call me old fashioned, but it's like, yes, I got a date. And it's like, all right, I'm going to be on my best behavior. I'm going to look good. I'm going to smell good. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Boom, boom, wop, wop, boom, boom, wop, wop. You go out. You're playing everything by ear. You're a complete gentleman. Mm-hmm. All of that shit. That'll probably be the last time you see that motherfucker. And it's like, well, what didn't you do? Or what did you do? You don't know. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, that shit switches. So then you dive into the pool of chemicals, and now you come out as the Joker. Now you're the bad guy. Mm. And you're having a fucking time of your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit. That's how it goes. But I'm sorry, did I take away something that you wanted to say?
Not at all. You just described your villain origin story.
Let me tell you something. My villain origin story would probably be aligned more so with like Victor Creed than anybody else. Okay. And if you don't know who it is, you gotta look him up. Then you'll understand. But I think we reached our rope.
All right.
And thank you for joining us on another episode of... Holy shit, that is the wrong song. Did you do that?
Nope, you did that.
I did it. And I'm going to cut it and I'm going to make things right. I do not have that as a part of my arsenal. We way cooler than that. There we go. That sounds a lot better. You have just finished listening to Dub Tape Podcast with yours truly, Supreme Pooba and
Transist Divine Ruby Craft.
And we will see you next time on the Dub Tape Podcast. Peace.
Bye.